All right, so we'll call the meeting to order. I guess the first item on the agenda would be to approve the agenda. Does everybody have a copy of the agenda?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, is there any corrections or changes or suggestions, or we'll just approve the agenda as stated? I hear a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Thank you, Ms. Lasky. And that was seconded by,
Deb.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Deborah.
Oh, Deborah Kraus-Clancy seconded. All right. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? No. Any abstentions? No. Okay, great. So we approved the agenda. Thank you. Okay, so the next item on the agenda, I'm sorry, Mr. Silva, if you could just put it up again, it probably is a little easier for everybody.
Let's see if I can get this to share the way it's supposed to. Can you guys see the agenda?
Yes.
Yeah, announcements.
All right.
Well, the news of the CDBG COVID impact grant received. I think I'll let Mr. Silver fill us all in, but I wanted to just follow up on what we talked about the other day, Tim, about that grant. But I'll let Mr. Silver in his official capacity follow that up.
Sure. So earlier this month, about a week or so, a little over a week ago, we were informed that the town of Ayer had received this grant from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and we received 90% of the money that we had asked for. So for the library, that means I'd asked for about $19,000 to purchase Wi-Fi hotspot devices, and so we got about 17,000 of that. So very pleased with that result, and so we'll be able to move forward with that program fairly soon. I'll update you all about that a little later on the agenda.
I guess this would be the appropriate time now. I'd certainly like to extend a heartfelt thanks to the town hall, and particularly Mr. Manoyan and Ms. Hershey. I don't know if everybody knows those two individuals, but they do most, if not all, the grant writing applications for the town. And when I'd gotten this, the notification back a while back, I suggested to Tim that we should send a letter on behalf of the library. And I thought, Tim, if you don't mind, if you could draft some letter up and just give me a buzz, and I'll run down and co-sign it with you as president. Anybody else on the board would like to sign it, but I really am pleased, and I guess Tim's going to update us on using the funds for hotspots for out in the parking lot, so I won't steal that thunder. But certainly you could feel free to put in anything you want in the letter. But I would like to thank Mr. Manoyan and Ms. Hershey personally, and kind of have it recognized as part of, the selectmen would put it so-called in their jacket. Used to be a member of the Board of Selectmen who always said, there was a little military term, I guess, in your jacket. But these types of letters of congratulation, in people's personnel files are very helpful to some, if not everybody, in the future. So that's not why I'm doing it. I'm genuinely pleased, and I want to thank them. But if it goes in their jacket, so be it. Thank you, Tim. Is anybody else have anything they'd like to say about the grant, the awarding?
Yeah, we can take questions a little later on when we talk a little bit more about
that's right.
Policy and how to go forward.
Yeah, Tim's going to explain the whole situation. Okay, then the next thing on the agenda is public comment. Ms. Sabal, do you have any comments?
Actually, sorry, Bob. I had one more thing I wanted to mention, but maybe Lori would want to mention it too. We just sort of set this on the calendar yesterday, I think. Of the Friends of the Ayer Library are going to be hosting a book sale here at the library on October 17th.
Oh, great.
That is the plan. Yeah, we're trying to, well, not trying, we will keep all of the COVID requirements in mind. Who knows what the world will be like in October, but we will, and we do fully understand that it might have to just be canceled at the last minute as well. But as of now, we are going ahead with plans to actually have it.
Well, thank you, Ms. Sabo. What, is that a Saturday, I'm assuming? Is that
It
like
is.
10 to 2?
Saturday, 10 to 2, yeah, with a rain
Right.
date of the following Saturday.
All right, is there anything we can do on behalf of the Friends or help the Friends with this project?
You can come and buy books.
Okay,
You can publicize it to your local networks,
yeah,
or you can volunteer to help that day.
okay, well, I'll be happy to help you a little bit.
Okay. The volunteer information hasn't gone out yet, but it probably will within a matter of a week to 2 weeks.
All
So
right,
I'll
well, put
make
me,
sure that all of the trustees are on that, in that email, and if you want to help, that's great, and if not, understood, no pressure.
Do you know at this point, Lori, what the times are going to be?
10 to 2, the same hours as the library's open.
Okay.
And we'll have from 1 to 2, we're going to change things up a little bit. And it'll all be in the PR that goes out.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
all right, thank you. So October 17th, 10 to 2. Book sale. All right, thank you very much. Anything else that we want to talk about as far as the book sale goes, or any other public comments?
Nothing else from me.
Okay. Tim, anything else for a public comment you can think of?
Nope, I don't have anything else at this point.
Okay, I guess we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is Director's Annual Evaluation. All right, I'm going to ask Ms. Clancy to take this over. She's been, really doing yeoman's work above and beyond the call of duty by collating all the individual evaluations. And what I would like to say is, excuse me, I would like to say is I look at this as not a personal situation relative to Mr. Silver or the directorship, but I look at it as a positive event in the gradual evaluation and the betterment of the library. And I hope that's the spirit everybody took it in. I hope that that's the spirit everybody receives any views or any opinions expressed. And does anybody else have anything they'd like to say about the evaluation before we hear the results?
There'll be plenty of opportunity to discuss it.
Okay.
So,
I'll just say that I won't take anything personally either, so it's all good.
I need to be able to share my screen, Tim.
Okay, so I think I need to stop sharing mine. Let me do that.
Okay, so share my screen. Now, let's see. Anybody see anything?
It's
You started.
Yep, it started now.
Okay.
This evaluation, August 20th, 2020.
Right. Okay. I'm looking on the right side of my screen for my scroll button, and it somehow had disappeared. Any idea how that works?
Nope.
Anybody?
If you move the cursor all the way over, it doesn't pop up. The other thing you might do is go down to the lower right corner where that zoom bar is and just make everything a little smaller. And just, yeah, whoops. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Is that
Oh,
the
I
first one?
see your scroll bar now.
Yeah.
Glad you see it.
I can see something on there, Deborah.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Oh my God, this is crazy. There's the first page. There's the second page. I don't even know how to get this back now. Yoy. Let's see. First page. Oh Lord, why does this happen to me? Why?
So go back to the scroll bar and put it kind of in the middle there. Yeah, a little more.
little more. There you
That's
go.
good.
That's good.
That's good.
Can anybody read anything?
Yep.
I know.
Whoa.
God in heaven almighty.
Yeah, that's
Get it up there and leave it.
Kind of
Yeah.
small, but
All right, little more.
a little bit.
It's very, what's the
Touchy.
word? Sensitive, yeah. All right, can anybody read that? Jesus God, this is crazy.
Yep, I'd stop right there.
There you go.
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
All right. So, Jesus. All right. A little bit more. Okay. Oh, geez. All right. So, the first item on what? Somebody was saying something.
I said,
All right.
you got this.
Okay. Thanks. All right. The first item is customer service and community relations. And in that category, I have counted up everybody's exceeds, needs improvements, and unknowns. And the total came up to be meets. And so the items that we discussed are right there, the small ones under customer service. And the comments are underneath. Now, I'm going to read a few of them, not all of them, because it'll take all night if I do that. But one of the comments says, this area continues to be Tim's strongest. His working relationship with other town departments and business owners is admirable. Next comment. Before the corona shutdown, the library seemed to be meeting the needs of its patrons. However, months after the library was shut down, very little was done to provide materials to patrons through the curbside pickup or online programming as compared to neighboring libraries. I received complaints from disappointed neighbors about Ayer Library's inertia. The library still hasn't clearly advertised hours for curbside pickup, convenient for somebody who works the traditional Monday through Friday 9 to 5 schedule. Sign in front of Town Hall says Monday through Friday 10 to 5. I see they have finally added Saturday hours. Another comment, maybe I will read them all. Children's staff does a lot of programs, but adult programming is lacking. The director should survey adult members of the community to identify programming needs and interests. Bring back the book club, virtual or otherwise. The library also needs to increase its hours. Many people in the community have said wonderful things about Tim. I would like to see a community survey go out to access community needs. We are proud of the friendly, cordial, and professional manner and behavior of our director. He is extremely approachable and willing to listen and is an asset to the town. And please ensure that flyers going out do not have misspelled words. See the attached. It's very embarrassing. You guys can talk about this after I show this flyer, if I can get it to go up on the screen. Let's see. Pause share. Okay. When you do pause share, that stops. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, geez, this is crazy. Okay. Resume share. Okay, it's back where it was. Okay, here is the flyer. Anybody see why that is misspelled?
no.
Yep.
Oh, library.
Yikers.
Oh.
So that flyer went out in everybody's bags, you know, that they get their books. Okay. And so this is the front of the flyer, and then this is the back side of the flyer. Same thing. So it's kind of embarrassing. Chem, I know this isn't you can't watch everybody all the time, but you need to find out who did this and come down on them, because that's your role. Anybody want to say anything? Say it now.
I think the same as what you said, Deborah. I mean, it is pretty embarrassing. It's Ayer Library and library spelled wrong. Like, needs to be multiple eyes on every publication that goes out, whether it's online, flyer, no matter what.
Just a little thing, but man, it makes us look like dummies.
Oh, I get that. I get that. It's that is unfortunate, and
Yeah.
we are working on sort of a kind of a better system to put out communications and flyers and try to make sure that that things like that don't happen in the future.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it was advertising something really good. I forget, but all I saw was that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever did that, fix it. All right, the next one, organizational growth. Your rating total on that one is meets. And these are the ideas that we discussed. Oh, the other thing is I need to let you know that everybody handed in their evaluation separately and apart from each other. Nobody knew what anybody else was writing. They all sent them to me, and I tabulated them and put it together. I had to remove a lot of comments because a lot of them were, what's the word? They said the same thing that somebody else said.
Redundant.
Thank you. I couldn't think of it. But so the comments for this one is on this page here, right here at the top. Can anybody read that, or is it too
Yep.
small?
I can read it.
All right. So this one says, I am hoping a strategic plan is a priority for 2021. Tim is aware of developments and trends in the field, but doesn't show initiative or desire to have a vision or to make long-range plans for the library. While it is difficult to address this section during a pandemic, I believe maintenance is being handled well, but strategic planning could be advancing further. The board would like to see Tim's priorities become strategic plan, followed by reinstatement of the nonprofit status. Now, in this one, I did kind of put a lot of the comments that were the same because I think you see a developing theme here.
Mm-hmm.
The strategic plan and the 501c seems to be, I'm sorry?
501c3.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They seem to be, what the board wants Tim and the entire staff of the library to make their number one priority for the coming year. And you'll see more comments about this in coming up.
Would you say over adapting to the COVID crisis and providing circulation in our regular library services?
Of course
I mean,
not.
number one priority for other projects to be done.
The library's first job is to deliver books to its patrons and to give customer service to its patrons.
Mm-hmm.
And then other priorities need to be what the board wants as a goal. And it's been kind of clear to me that the board has been telling you, we want these to be your goals, not our goals too, So all of us together, and we need to have that committee. We need to have meetings of that committee, and progress must be made on this because way too much time has gone on for any progress. Nothing has been done really at all, not even a survey. So,
Okay.
steps need to put in place. And I think if the rest of the staff of the library understand that this is your goal after doing books and all, whatever else, the strategic plan is the most important because we cannot function as a library with future goals unless we have the strategic plan, because we cannot ask for grants unless that's in place. So we need it, and we need it done in the coming year. It's
Okay.
got to happen. Okay. Comments. Mr. Silva needs better communication and follow through with the staff. Should employee job descriptions be shared among staff to avoid duplication of effort and gaps in service? Library finances seem to be well managed. Ayer Library staff is comprised of a dedicated, knowledgeable team. It is diverse, but would benefit from more diversity. The board is impressed with the staff and hope they are being encouraged to grow in their skills. We know that they were being encouraged prior to the onset of the shutdown. There needs to be more communication and effective change by the director to staff concerns. Now, board members, please speak up if any of these comments are yours and you want to add to them. And the same goes for you, Tim.
Okay.
None
This
of
wasn't,
None
Go
of
ahead,
those
Sue.
comments are mine, but I did kind of want to say Dana gave me a pile of treasurer stuff the other day, but it also included some minutes from the year before, which was like a year before COVID. And apparently the nonprofit status was on the agenda well before COVID. And I was actually pretty surprised. I thought this was a new issue, but I think it is a priority. It should be a priority.
This wasn't my comment, but as far as the library staff and more diversity, I certainly support diversity, but, it seemed fairly diverse with males and females and different racial makeup, and I'm not really sure how you can achieve more diversity. I mean, if you're going to hire the most qualified person. And the recent hires I've been very impressed with, so I mean, that's a difficult one to achieve, but, I don't know how many people apply for these positions and what happens, but it certainly seems to be more diverse the last couple of years than it was for about 15 years before that.
Mhm.
I agree. I
I'm
agree.
very
with that.
impressed by the staff. I am always impressed by the staff. I think that that's a really hard one because you can't go out specifically looking for a particular minority candidate. You just can't do that. But I think that the staff that Tim has assembled and the capabilities of them is really impressive. I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% with Cindy that it is a great staff, and I'm sure they're working very hard, under Tim and Sam and whatever. But, yeah, thank you very much. That was very well put, Cindy.
Okay, anybody else? Speak up. Here's your chance.
Great staff.
Okay. All right. Okay, that category, the totals came to meets. All of these evaluations I have in a folder. I can give them to Cindy. They're available for anybody to look at if you want to look at them.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah. That's an excellent point, and we should probably secure them someplace. If somebody wants to look at them 3 years from now or 5 years from now, make sure they're all saved.
I'll send this document to everybody when I'm done. The next category is financial management. Also, the rating is meets.
Mhm.
Those are the items that we measured Mr. Silva on. The comments are, we need the 501(c)(3) reinstatement to be a top priority. We are thrilled with the low cost but top quality procurement of the new circulation desks. The library finances seem to be well managed. Kudos on monthly trash savings. Top marks for requesting, grant writing, procuring, receiving hotspot devices, and preparing the distribution. Well done. Comments, anybody?
With all those kudos, why did it turn out to be a meets? I'm flabbergasted that that's not an exceeds.
I think the next time we do this, okay, the board should see this review before it gets presented. And what happens is people circle things and then I have to add them all up, and they all added up to meets. Do you know what I'm saying? There weren't enough exceeds the exceeds did not outnumber the meets. So I chose the most positive comments to put in there. There were some other comments that I didn't choose to put in there, but I think the next time we do this, I will, or somebody will compile the comments and the numbers, and then the board should look at it in executive session before it gets presented to the director. But every category is meets so far. There are no exceeds.
The
All right,
one
I'm just
thought
saying,
had
I take
too-
exception to that.
Well, you'll see I have all the numbers and I
Oh,
have
no,
all
I'm not arguing with you about the numbers. I'm just saying that I would disagree with a few of the things, but that's all right.
If I could just say one thing, I wasn't overly impressed with the form. I know we use the form because it's sponsored by the State Library committee, and obviously it has the right phraseology about a lot of these things here, but maybe in the interim 12 months we can look for a different form that might give a like a more accurate picture of some of these things. But be that as it may, we can certainly move on because we used this form this year. Any other questions, comments?
Final category. Where are we? Okay. Go through this. Final category is Board of Trustee relationship rating needs improvement. Tim does a great job with his reports to the board. They are very detailed and informative. Needs to take the lead on strategic plan development and to have entire staff devoted to this task as the library's top priority for the coming year. Board is concerned about the need for public access to computers, printers, copier. As yet, no plans for this in place. Board struggles with Tim's quickness to cancel board meetings and why he won't work on a strategic plan. Board would like directors' reports sent out earlier. A few days before a meeting would be adequate, as this gives the board time to digest the material and to ask pertinent questions. This is a very difficult time for the director and the board with the issues presented by Corona. However, the director must resolve to work with and assist more in the achievement of the BOT's goals, a strategic plan and reinstatement of the 501c3 or 3C status. So this is the entire evaluation, and this is the one that everybody said needs improvement. So if anybody wants to make a comment, now is your chance.
I will say, I think that last comment might be mine, because I always knew it was 501c3, but be that as it may. Yeah, I just, first of all, let me just say this to Tim publicly. This is an extraordinarily difficult time. Obviously, none of us have ever seen anything like this in our lifetimes, thank God. Hopefully we never will. This pandemic. So I'm sure you're doing the best you can. And, a lot of it is, stop and go and experimenting and seeing what other towns and other libraries are doing and whatever. And as I said to Tim yesterday, and I've heard some other places are already open, but I'd rather be the last than the first to be open or, put people in harm's way. And we're seeing that in a national, international level right now. So, I'm not faulting Tim for, keeping the library closed or putting safety of the staff and the patrons first, at that at all. And, hopefully we get the strategic plan and the tax exempt status achieved as soon as reasonably possible under these conditions. So I think that last comment was mine.
Yep.
I would like to, I guess I would like to say, I'm sorry if I missed this, but I don't recall a strongly expressed concern about needs for public access to the computers, printers, and copier. I mean, I know I've identified that as an issue. We know it's an issue. We actually have been, printing documents out for people because they can email them to us. But it's not something that we're advertising right now. But if somebody's in a jam, then we have been able to do that. Again, these are things that it just takes a little time for us to sort of work out how to make it happen and make it happen in a safe way.
Yeah, I would say, Tim, safety's got to be the paramount concern. I mean, I'm all for helping people out, patrons and whatever, but, I don't want to see anybody in harm's way because they're making some copies for somebody.
No, I think that one is somebody's worried about the public, the poor public, not having access to equipment, bottom line.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
No, I get that. I mean, that's, you know, I knew that was going to be an issue from the day we closed, because, it was going to be hard to get, put computers outside, or, it's either that or let people in the building. And we're just, we're not ready to, we're trying to get ready to, do one or the other of those. I think, as I, pointed out in this month's report, we're in the process of ordering some plexiglass shields for the service desks. And, we just received a bunch of cleaning supplies and gloves and masks from Chuck Schultz yesterday. So, we're moving in that direction. But like we're discovering with just about everything these days, it takes more time than you think it's going to.
right. I was amazed to hear that you guys did 700 bags of books.
Curbside.
The curbside has been going well.
That's amazing.
Sam, I don't know if you want to have, if you have some additional comments on that, but it's very popular, and the staff has been doing really well at sort of, turning stuff around and filling the requests.
That is a very impressive number.
Sam, we can't hear you.
Oh, that was Bob said that was a very impressive number. Sorry.
Can't hear it.
I was sitting back from the iPad. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say, or?
Well, since Tim brought it up, I was wondering, because I think we have had people at a number of meetings voice concerns. I know people too who are trying to fill out unemployment. It's hard to get on the phone, and they don't have computers at home. And I know there's a lot going on, and you said it's going to take a while. How much longer might it take to come up with something?
So I don't know, like, what can we do? Can we have like a tent outside for a couple hours during the day? Or, I mean, is any other library offering their equipment to the public?
I know they are in Maine. York, Maine has hours when their computers are available, but I don't know what their systems they have in place.
Yeah, and I don't know the details either. I believe that the latest number for libraries in Massachusetts that actually have, their buildings open in some way right now is about 20 out of 300 plus, I think. But I don't know how many of those are offering, computers and copiers. So I can't speak to that.
I don't think copiers are as needed as, the actual equipment. This was not my comment, by the way. But I mean, a copier you can access at Shaw's, and some grocery stores have copiers, and convenience stores. But if you need a computer, I don't really know what your option is except to buy one.
Oh.
And then
even those I've heard that they're hard to get now because manufacturing has stopped. So anyway, so this was difficult for me to put together because I got to see everybody's comments, and I wish we would have had an opportunity to present it to the board before we presented it to Tim, because we could have talked about it ourselves and said, do we want to change that, or do we want to say this or that? I think next time we should do that. I hope you agree with me.
I guess the only thing I would say, Deborah, is first of all, I really appreciate all your hard work and effort. I talked to the Attorney General's office about completing the form, and I kind of got the impression it was supposed to be done individually, sort of the way we did it. But, that's something we can talk about next year, and maybe there'll be a new Attorney General, who knows. Maybe there won't be a pandemic, who knows.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Pray to God for that. And Tim, I would like to say, I mean, I think all in all, it's a pretty good report. I mean, it's probably like an A- or a B+. And, if you want to take some time in the next month to respond to, refute, to question the accuracy of anything, feel free. I mean, I want to give you an equal opportunity to, voice your concerns, just like about the public access. I'm sure I've heard some people say things and they ask me and whatever. And it's a tough time for people. If they don't have access to a computer and they're trying to file unemployment compensation applications, they either stay on the phone for about 5 hours, 6 hours, or they can do it electronically, I guess. I mean, it's a very difficult thing for a lot of people, and I'm not sure what the solution is. But does
Okay.
that seem fair to you, Tim, or is there any other thing you'd like to say?
No, that's fair. Thank you, Bob, and thank you everybody for taking the time to think this through.
All right.
Before you move on, this is Laurie, and I would like to ask a question. And if it is an inappropriate question, just cut me off before I go much further. It's about the process of the evaluation, and that the question is: did Tim get a chance to see this before your meeting tonight?
No.
Can't do that. It has to be presented in an open meeting.
Yeah, that's my understanding, Ms. Sable. I'm talking to the representative of the Attorney General, and I've got the file here. And I think I've got, it was a female that I spoke with, not the Attorney General, obviously, but yeah, she was quite specific. There's sort of like a specific procedure we're supposed to follow, and that's what we did. And part of it is because they don't want to have people calling up and saying, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Or, how are you going to vote or whatever? It's got to be an individual decision by everybody. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think, Ms. Sable, is it seems like poor Tim didn't have a chance to respond or defend, if that's the correct term. And you're right, but that's the way, we're doing it the way it's supposed to be done by the AG. And, not everybody agrees with the way the law is written or the way the law is interpreted. And I certainly have had my share of situations throughout the last, since 1971. That's 49 years where I probably didn't agree with some of the laws or some of the implementations of it, but that's the way it is. You got to follow. Unless I'm the Attorney General or I'm the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, I'm not going to be able to change these things.
Okay.
All
Does
right,
that answer your question, Laurie?
Well, I don't agree with it, but I don't know the law, so there. You can move
Oh, that's
on.
fine. I mean, nobody's asking anybody to agree with it, but that's the way the Attorney General's representative explained it to me.
And that's why we did it this way. I would rather do it behind closed doors as well. But,
Totally.
you got to do what the law says you got to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that, and I'm sure everybody agrees with me, that Tim is doing a really good job. He's a wonderful person, very affable, very polite. We don't want you to go anywhere, Tim, but we had to tell you what we want. And so I hope that you will pass on our desires to the rest of your staff and let us all work together to achieve these two goals.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so I will give the share. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give this back to Tim. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for all the work that you did on this. I know you spent a lot of time bugging me.
Right, so.
Thank you, Deborah. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it wasn't fun either.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is transition to the new treasurer, Ms. Kennedy. Well, Ms. Kennedy, I met down at the bank last Friday morning, and we spent an hour signing forms electronically that we probably could have done in 3 minutes the old-fashioned way, but that's okay. And she had a lot of very great questions, I thought, about do we need all these separate forms with segregated sums in there. And, the only thing I can say is for those of you who saw the movie Chariots of Fire, when the headmaster, at the introduction of the year, I think it was 1920, right after the World War I, and he said, these names on the wall are just names to all of you incoming freshmen, but they are real people to us, meaning the students that passed away in the World War I. And that's why Judge Clark, who I knew as a youngster, and I used to go up to court and observe him when I was in high school, and Janet Sherwin was my next door neighbor, and Johnny Moore he was 2 years ahead of me in school. I mean, these names are real life people to me, and I guess I would like to see them segregated as long as we can do it for myself. And I'll be quiet after saying that. But she had a lot of good questions, and I want to thank you, Susan, for accepting the baton from Dana, who did a fantastic job, and I'm sure you will too.
So one of the things actually that I think I didn't realize that many of these accounts have restricted purposes that we can spend on. And I was surprised actually it's on the account somewhere, although I haven't seen it. And I would love to, and Bob, you seem like these, or maybe I could just call down the bank in case somebody needs a check. I know which account to take it out of.
The checks always come out of that one account.
Yeah. But one of the
one, right?
accounts is for children, another is for, Bob was listing these all off. He's really good at this.
I think one's just for like grounds too. Like I think something's, and I think it would be almost disrespectful to those if the families find out that we just threw it into a general fund when it was, specifically for a certain thing. Like they made those specific requests for a reason to them. And so I know it's probably a big pain, but I think they should stay separate until they get down to zero and the account has nothing left in it.
I think that we need to know what those accounts are for, though. It would be really great at some point, and I don't mean tomorrow, but at some point, if we could have a list of what the different accounts are and what the restrictions are on them, so that and maybe not all of us need to have it. I don't know, but I'm curious now. I was curious before, but now I'm even more curious.
Cindy, the two ladies that Susan and I spoke to the two fellows that Susan and I spoke to, Cindy, at the bank, they said that some of the bank original documents have included like a copy of the page of the will or a copy of the letter of transmission when the fund was established. So they said that the bank might be the first place to start. I mean, otherwise, Judge Clark passed away, I think, in 1965. He also was a neighbor of mine. And, his will is probably probated down in Middlesex Probate Court.
All of that, it's all really interesting stuff. And I think that if we could just get a list at some point, it probably is, individually, all those things are in the minutes over the years, but who knows how long ago these were, set up so long ago. It would be nice to have a current list of what the accounts are, not all the details of exactly what's in them and stuff like that. I'm just talking about, the Moore account. What was it for? All the other accounts, what were they for? So that we have some historical sense of the money that we're supposed to be entrusted with. I got no clue. I'm not a money person. I'm not a numbers person, but I am a story person, and I want to know these things. So at some point, it'd be great to have all that information compiled. I don't know how to do it, but
I'd probably go down there. I thought he said it was attached to the accounts. I thought once I got online, it would say there's something, and it didn't. So maybe I'll just go down and pick up.
But no rush on it, Sue. I'm not trying to give you more to do.
The things that are online are going to be the things in the last 10 years. And you're talking about things that go back a lot further than that. So it's not going to be online. You have to go in person and dig or not, you know.
Yeah. And then the other question I had, because right after that, I ran over and met with Dana, and I had already met with Tim, who got me copies. So copies are important and some great information. But Tim, if I heard right, was Dana had told me that I needed to go down to the library twice a month and sign off on the expenses. And I believe Tim said, oh, that's not really necessary. And then when I met with Dana again, she said, no, I think she was suggesting that it's either policy or regulation that at least somebody on the board. So I don't know if somebody else on the board is doing it or would like to do it or how that should work.
It's not a regulation as far as the town is concerned. They don't require a board member signature. I mean, this is the warrant articles cover, you know, the money that the town appropriates for the library to use. So it doesn't need a board member signature because it goes, you know, kind of through me to the town manager, and then he signs off on the expenditures, and that's all they need. I believe the original reason for having a board member continue to sign off on these was so that the board could see what the money was being spent on. But you know that that's something that it was more of a practice than anything that was required. Certainly not required by the town.
Oh well, I don't think Dana was suggesting the town. I think she was suggesting our policies or regulations that there was.
I don't think there's anything written down. I think it's just it was just a sort of an informal practice.
It wasn't informal at all. It was two board members had to sign off on every expenditure the library sent over to the town hall. Not just one board member, but two. So that's a big change, and I don't recall ever hearing about the change, why it changed. I understand now that now that Tim is going to town hall departmental meetings, that the town probably said, oh, you don't need to run that by the board. Just send it here to the town hall. We'll take care of it.
Deborah, my understanding is that when the town sort of changed from having a town administrator to having a town manager, that was the reason why it's not required anymore, because the town manager has more kind of ability to, oversee those sorts of things. And
we need to keep that distinction between our board. This is where autonomy comes in, and I'm really, that makes me nervous. I don't like it. This has nothing to do with the personality or the ability of the current town manager, but we don't know what's coming down the road. We don't know who will be the next one. We don't know whether he will be hostile to the concern of mine that we do not lose the distinction of the fact that we are still an autonomous organization. And I don't throw that around every time we have a meeting, but I'm going to throw it around this time. I would like, even if it's me that comes and does it, I would like to reinstitute that policy of one or two, however y'all think it should be done, signing those things. I know it's a pain. When I was working there, we were always trying to call trustees to come and have them do it. But if it's set up on a regular schedule, I think it can be done without that much of a hassle. I live real close. I don't mind. But I'm not a numbers person, like I said before, so maybe you don't want me looking at the numbers.
And this is Bob Gordon. I'm happy to go down and sign off. I'm pretty flexible. Just give me a buzz on my cell phone. You don't have to send me an email or a text first. Just give me a call. I can usually make myself available to come down and sign off. And, it's probably not a bad practice for the board to have a couple of representatives signing off,
Oh.
before or after.
Can I ask a question?
Available to do that also.
Are you going to actually look at what you're signing? Because I'm not sure that is always what has happened. It's just, are we just going to have to, you're going to put a signature on it and, and that's okay? Or, this is, again, I don't think this is necessary. And I'm not trying to pull the wool over on anybody's eyes here, but it doesn't make any difference as far as the board's independence is concerned. This is the municipal money that has been allocated to the library. And again, as far as I understand, the board doesn't have any direct control over that. You have control over the funds that you hold that we just talked about. But as far as the municipal money, that goes through the library director and the town manager.
Is there a way to maybe, if there was a list of the expenditures every month and let us look at them as part of your director's report? Is that possible?
So
I having been recently on the planning board in this town, I know the planning board has to vote on much fewer bills than the library, vote on each one. But again, and the other boards do the same thing. But I don't think Dana was suggesting that that it's because of a town requirement, but our documents actually say that we're supposed to approve these.
So that's the Board of Trustees documents is saying that.
Yes.
Well, Tim, in answer to your question, I probably wasn't, if you got a landscaping bill for $362, I'm happy just to sign off on that. I don't think I got to go through the bill and count how many bags of mulch there were. I'm not looking for that. Yeah, but I just meant I'd be happy to make myself available to come down and sign off. But out of respect for certainly Cynthia and any other board member, it's probably not the worst idea in the world to come down.
Let me just say, when I started here, we made a point of going through the budget and looking at basically what those expenses were every 2 weeks, and it was typically lots and lots of books and DVDs and things like that, and then we'd pay for gas and electricity and internet service and telephone and having somebody mow the lawn and all that stuff.
Is payroll in that too, Tim?
What's that?
Is payroll in that as well?
Payroll, payroll is done every 2 weeks also.
Okay.
And and I can certainly start including, a monthly just sort of budget update, an operating budget update. I had been doing that initially. And then, when the board kind of turned over and we didn't have board meetings for a while, it's something that I didn't pick up again because I wanted to know ideally what you guys would like to see. But if you want, I'm happy to start, including sort of the monthly expenses, for you guys to see, and so what we're spending the
Was
town
there
money
a
on.
problem with Dana doing this that I didn't, because she didn't alert me to any problem that she was having or you were having with doing something that apparently has just been a regular?
No, there wasn't a problem other than, trying to make sure that, we could get the signature before I turned it into to the accounting department. So, either if she had the time to stop by in the afternoon, she might sign it here, but often I would, I'd walk it over to her office and, have her sign it. But, that is the challenge. It has been, finding somebody, at least one person who's able to, come over here on a Wednesday, usually, to sign it.
Hey, Cindy Knox, how we doing on time?
4 minutes.
It's 6:59 p.m.
Oh,
That's
boy.
Siri answering that question. Jeez.
It is 6:59 p.m., but I don't have any problem if you need to go another 15, 20 minutes.
Thank you,
Well,
Cindy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Everybody agreeable? We'll go a little.
Well, Tim, I'm willing
longer?
to be, I'm willing to be convinced that this is not a matter of the library's status. I'm willing to be convinced of that. Not understanding how the finances work, it makes me nervous because I remember for so many years somebody coming over and signing the things, and it just became a regular practice. I know Marilyn was doing it for a bit, but then she resigned. She was coming over every week, just sort of routinely, and when she was there, you could just put something in front of her and she signed it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm making something out of nothing. It just...
It would, well, how can I mean, if I talked with, Lisa Gabri at Town Hall about this and got her input, would that be helpful, or what,
Well, maybe
how can...
Maybe this is just me. Maybe it's just you and I that need to talk. I don't know. Is there anybody else that sees this, or am I just completely off base? And shut up, Cindy.
Cindy, I would never say shut up to you or anybody else. And, it may very well be part of the documents that created the library, because, being sort of a hybrid library, we do have some unusual characteristics. So, I don't mind coming down and signing off if that's going to facilitate things.
It doesn't sound like it's a town thing either. It seems like the many boards before any of us put this into practice. Now, does it mean it the right practice? I don't know.
It would seem to me that if it's part of the way the library board is set up, that we shouldn't change it without voting on it.
Correct, yeah.
And we would need more information than we have now before we did vote to change it.
So I think because we don't have that much time, I think we should table this discussion and move on to the rest of the agenda.
Well, when are the next bills ready the checks to go over to Town Hall to get paid?
They'll be due by the end of Wednesday of next week, I believe.
That's August 26th.
So we're going to just continue this until we're able to make a decision on whether there's a good enough reason to end it?
I would say yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been submitting them without any board member signature now for certainly since the pandemic started. And as far as the town has been concerned, there's not been a problem.
From the town hall, but it wasn't a town hall practice. It was a board of trustees practice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
now, one of the things that
might not have a problem with it, but it seems to me that if it's part of the board's practice, then we should continue it until we vote to change it.
Even if it's pointless.
But it's part of the library process. And until the board votes to change the process, then that's the point.
Okay. So if we should enforce all the blue laws that are still on the books too.
Nobody said that. We said, well, let's just continue this practice until we
Okay, that's fine.
like we've been doing since the beginning.
Well, Tim, to sort of move on here, I'm happy to be one of the board members. Just call me anytime and I'll run down. And I mean that sincerely.
And I'm often available too. So just give me a buzz or shoot a text.
I will.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next situation, nonprofit status. Anything you want to update us on that, Tim?
Nope, this will be quick because there hasn't been any progress on either the nonprofit status or the strategic plan. So we can move
Well,
on to the next
nonprofit
item.
status, we need to get some documents to that CPA up at Devon's, I think.
That is correct.
What
Yeah.
documents do we need?
Basically, the annual reports from the treasurer of the board for the missing years where no filings were made to the IRS.
Is that
Did that
something
start
Lisa
at 2011?
Yes, more or less.
Is that something Lisa Cabri could help us with, Tim?
I believe so. When we left the last meeting, I was going to see if I could get in touch with her to find out. I wanted to wait until she was done with the end of fiscal year work, and so I haven't had a chance to talk with her about this.
Do you have a phone number for her?
Not on me.
It's on the town
It's
website.
on the.
Okay.
Sue, are you willing to call her and see?
Yes, it's actually illegal for us not to be filing. So, and yeah, it needs to get done. And unless there's a date already out there where this was actually going to move along.
Well, let's make the date for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Sue, here's the town clerk's number, 978-772-8215. Certainly, well, that's not Lisa's office, but, you know, she's like across the hall or down the hall or something. But I imagine they could connect you and give you the number. But the website probably, town's website would probably.
Have that annual reports for the library.
Why would she have them?
Is that what goes in the town annual report?
Oh, the town meeting annual statement. I don't know if that would help. We've got all, the library has them all down there, but she might, I mean, she's the town accountant, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's probably got some more definitive information than what's in that town report, I'm guessing, maybe not.
And then how do we reach the accountant whose work, is she the accountant who's working on our 501, or we had a private?
No, it's, she just happens to have an office in one of the buildings up at Fort Devens. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. She used to work with Dexter Stevens years ago, and I mean, Tim's probably got her number handy, right?
I've got her email and phone number. I'll send that along.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, so we all set to move on to strategic plan?
There's nothing to report on the strategic plan at this point, so we can move on to.
Oh, just
Wait a minute.
Okay.
How about we set up a meeting for a strategic plan, and you are the chair of the strategic plan committee, Tim. And you can set up a meeting via Zoom that the committee will meet and discuss what step 1 is, and then figure out what step 2 and step 3 is. So when is the next meeting for the strategic plan committee?
I will take a look at the calendar and I will send out some information, and we can figure it out.
I think you got to also notify Cindy Knox and get that in compliance with the open meeting law too. So
Yep.
we'll have to clear that with Town Hall and Cindy.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so anything else on that? We're all set. Approval of minutes of July 16th. Everybody had a chance to read those minutes?
Yep.
Any motion to accept them as printed?
I motion to accept the minutes as printed for July 16th, 2020.
Thank you, Becky. Any second?
Second.
Second from Sharon Slaski. All those in favor? Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor, aye. Any opposition or abstentions? All right, it passes unanimously. Thank you. Then the treasurer's report, Sue Kennedy. By the way, did everybody get a copy of the accounts that she sent out?
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody had a chance to read them over? Any questions? All right. Hearing none, do I hear a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented
So
in the
moved.
email that we've all had a chance to read?
So moved.
Ms. Faust Clancy made a motion. Any
I second.
Thank you from Becky Campana. All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition? No abstentions? So that carries. Okay, what's the next thing on? Yeah, Susan Kinney.
I'm sorry, these meetings have been so on time every single month. I planned something too close to the 7 o'clock and they showed up early. So I'm going to have to take off unless there's something really important coming up.
See you next time, Sue.
Bye, Sue.
Hey,
Very much.
Thank you, Sue.
Sue, we won't eavesdrop on you. Why don't you just let the thing run and you can step out in the other room? So we're going to count you as part of the quorum, okay?
We don't need it.
Okay.
We've got 5.
But
We have
won't
5.
listen.
We're okay.
We won't listen. All right, so the next item on the agenda is
Director's report.
Director's report. Tim, anything you want to say about the director's report?
No, other than, does anybody have any questions about it at this point?
I don't have any. Does anybody else have any questions of Tim about his report?
Thank you.
Looks
No.
good.
All right, great. So, do
Oh,
we
I
need
just
to?
had one question. Tim,
Thank you.
just one small thing. Where was the wood roaches? Like outside or somewhere in the building?
No, they're in the building.
Oh. Was there much damage? I don't know what wood roaches are, but
No,
sounds
they're
terrible.
they're just like little, they look like little roaches. and
Tiny
they just
brown
sort of,
roses.
yeah, run around
so-
and
No.
Do they eat at the wood to do anything to?
they'll eat, I guess they'll chew on paper if you let them get going too much. And so
That's not a good thing.
No,
No.
is this like an
Well-
ongoing problem or was it just a recent thing that you had taken care of and hopefully it's done?
It's something that I think has been treated, I mean, I don't know, once a year, more or less.
Okay.
That's my understanding from past.
Okay.
Tim, did you have some, did the library have some mulch delivered recently?
Yep, we did.
I think the wood roaches come from the mulch. They're a member of the aphid family. And not being an entomologist, but I do have some working knowledge about wood roaches. And I don't think they're going to do any damage, so.
Okay, good to know.
Great
And then
question.
I just have one other thing. So it says that Barbara's currently looking at like a email newsletter. I know several people use Constant Contact.
Yep.
I didn't know
and
if she was from.
Yeah, we've actually signed up with them. So,
Okay.
yeah, we should be getting our instructions. The account should be ready next week, I think. We're waiting to hear back from them on a couple of things, but we're just about ready to go with that.
I think it sounds like from many people that it's a very easy, user-friendly thing. I get them from several different things that I'm associated with, and
Yep.
it seems like it's pretty good.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I agree.
And then I just love that, everything. I have hearts on a lot of things that were happening. So I was very overwhelmed with the, 13 boxes when you're usually only getting like 3 maybe. So that's just really fantastic that the books are moving, and I'm really pleased to see that.
Yeah, well, that's when they were emptying out the warehouse after, everybody had just sort of parked their books there for 6 months.
Yeah, it's like, here's all your books back.
Right.
Okay, do we need anything else? Do we want to talk about the director's report? Do we need a motion to accept it?
So moved.
All right, thank you, Ms. Clayton. Second by Deborah. All right, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, aye.
Bye.
All right, any opposition, any abstentions, carries unanimously. All right, so next item of business is draft Wi-Fi hotspots loan policy. Is that something we can wait on until next meeting, Tim?
Yes, it is. It is.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen with the hotspots until mid-September at this point because the state is still working on guidelines for distributing the money and all this kind of thing. I had a conversation with Alicia and Alan on Zoom yesterday about this. So,
Yeah.
The policy may have to be adjusted depending on what the state decides they want to require as far as how these things can be used. But that's going to be worked out hopefully over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and by mid-September, I hope we'll be able to, start getting these things lit up and distributed.
All right, thank you. Then the next item
Tim, I
is
just have
seed
one-
library. Go ahead.
Gotta move on.
Yeah, I'm moving on. Seed library for Ayer Community Garden. Tim and I talked about this. I said, put it on the agenda. It's a group of people that want to have like a library for seeds. With the pandemic and everything, Tim, is that probably realistic? Probably not.
Not at the moment. I mean, it's definitely something that, we've worked with the community garden group in the past, and, I'd love to, figure out a way to do something like this down the road. But, with nobody in the library right now, and we're sort of heading into fall, which I don't know is
I
ideal
don't think
seed
it's going to be
season.
good planting weather. All right, so
Well,
maybe-
Sheila is here with us. If she
Right.
has, I sent out the thing that she sent to me. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at it because it was very last minute. But if
Sheila,
anybody
that's
had any
right.
questions,
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Sheila,
Hi.
I'm not trying to rush you off. Bob Gardner here. Why don't you explain your position?
Well, I mean, I kind of understand your reluctance because the library isn't open to go in. But it would be great if we kind of start putting it together this winter. We are saving seeds at the community garden now. This is when we save them for next spring, for seeding. What the resources you would have to have is an unused card catalog. I don't know if you still have any, Samantha? No?
No, ours has been gone for, longer than I've been there, so I don't have one.
All right. There's something kind of like
they've been gone forever.
I mean, they're the perfect size to hold. We would just use little manila envelopes to put the seeds in and label them and date them in some kind of a device like that. We can probably put our heads together and find something. And it would be a small group of a small group of volunteers that would kind of maintain it. It would need a card catalog or some kind of a file cabinet, but that's too big. Maybe I can start looking at Goodwill and those kind of places to see what they have that might work. And it's, like a small library table. One of the ones that are like 3 by 3 on top, so it has a card catalog in it, like a catalog that you would put recipes in, and you could add, seeds there, or take an envelope out of that space and deliver the seeds, or somebody could deliver them for me and get them to the library.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. I know that lots of other libraries are doing this, and I am definitely in favor of it. I'm sure that somebody in our group or your group will be able to find some sort of piece of furniture that would be able to save the seeds. I think we should think about having this for the community. I think the community would love it. However, I don't think one second of the library's people who work there's time needs to be spent on this.
Yeah,
So,
the
I'm
woman
all in
that
favor of it.
The woman I work with, who's given me advice, I thought I had my camera on, sorry, there, runs the seed library in Littleton, and they've been doing that for years. She gets donations of seeds from seed companies and the donations of people who collect their own seeds. And so it's wouldn't be any library staff. There might need a small budget, but that could be down the road. And what I understand, the only money you would need is to buy the little manila envelopes like the key companies use, key makers, to put a key in. And at some point, if we decide to ask seed companies to donate seeds for our library, sometimes they ask for shipping. And that would be the only expenses. No, it would be totally managed by the community garden staff. Nobody, it would, and of course it has to happen when the library's back open again and people are free to come and go, and hopefully maybe next spring that will happen. I know.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Ms. Carmen, for being here and enlightening us. So what would you need from us? Some kind of vote to go ahead and assist you?
A vote to have the okay to set it up in your library.
Tim, do
How
you see
about-
any problems with
I think
that?
that's Tim's.
Well, I think I mean, what we should probably do is that Sheila and I, or, should sit down and kind of hammer out, the details of an agreement
Mhm.
around, how this would work.
Oh, yeah.
And, I can
absolutely.
take a look at, what some other libraries have got for, their seed library agreements or policies, and we can put something together.
Okay.
It's not, given the charge to work that I've just heard from the board today, it's probably not going to happen right away, but perhaps over the winter, we can sit down and start talking about this.
Okay.
And I think also that any money that you need for anything, including envelopes, postage, whatever, that has to come from the Friends, not from the library. So you
Or
should
from the
present,
community garden.
Right.
right. So that's where no money can come from the library. Only space and a piece of furniture to put the seeds in. That's it.
Okay.
Sorry. Just giving it to you straight. I don't know any other way.
And we will, we'll have to think about the best place to put that as well.
That'll be Tim's decision.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Hey,
So you
Ms.
want to
Carmen,
wait until
need-
things open up, Tim, to meet? Is that it?
Well, yeah, I mean, why don't we just touch base in maybe 2 or 3 months, and we'll see where things are. I mean, as
Yeah.
we know, things are changing every day. So why don't you reach out to me in maybe sort of the end of October into November, and we can at least touch base. And if it looks like I'll have time in the next couple of months after that, we can start working on it then. And if not, we'll push it off till January or something.
Okay.
Ms.
Okay.
Carmen, is that agreeable with you? Do you have anything else you'd like to add or ask or suggest? Ma'am? Ms. Carmen?
I'm sorry, no.
All
I
right,
don't-
listen, thank you for your patience. I remember you were going to be with us, but I just didn't see you, so I'm kind of new to the Zoom stuff, so I apologize. if I tended
Honestly,
to
I
cut
came
you
in.
off.
I came in late. I was at my garden doing some work.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, I got the perfect name for seeds, but I don't have a green thumb. Okay, thank you very much.
You're
Is
welcome.
there anything
Well,
else
thank you.
on the agenda?
Well, thank you for having me and putting me on the agenda.
Our pleasure. That is very interesting. Anything else on the agenda, everybody?
no.
I think that was
Just
the
the
last
adjournment.
item.
Mhm.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Second.
So moved.
Okay, Cindy, you got all that? All right, all those in favor, aye. No
Aye.
abstentions, no declinations. All right, thank you all very much. The next meeting is when?
Is it the third Thursday of September?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
All right. See you
Thank
all.
you.